Welcome back to Room 442. It's Mikey Singh on the couch with Albert. It's time for red card, yellow card, play on, the most popular segment on the show.
Much better, Sharms. All right. So you guys know how this works.
All right.
I'm going to say a statement. This one, I'll start with you, Albert Vartanian. We've heard talks of the European Super League coming back. You know, the FA Cup has been great. You have the Premier League. You have all these different types of leagues. But I'm going to say the Champions League, which is back next week, is the best competition, best club competition in the world.
And this is not
Best and most entertaining.
Is this including leagues or just individual competitions?
Leagues, anything.
I'm gonna say yellow card. I mean, it's all preference. To me personally, I love the Champions League, and it's something I always want to tune into. But I love the Premier League so much more. Like if you were to ask me, what would you rather get rid of, Premier League or Champions League? I would say the Champions League.
So it's a red card.
No, but I like the Champions League, and I can understand why people would pick it over domestic leagues.
Even more than the Club World Cup.
Oh, the Club World Cup is fantastic.
But Sharms, I saw your tweet actually, and this one inspired me.
I'm giving you
You're going
for
red?
this. And listen, I love it too, right? It's incredible. And all this talk about this new Super League, like, shut up. Just go away. This is brilliant, the Champions League. It works.
It works.
But for me, the FA Cup is the greatest
FA
club
Cup.
competition. And not so much with the prestige, because it has lost some of that over the years. But just think about what the FA Cup is. Amateur clubs can enter this tournament, right? And who knows? They might potentially one day play a Man United, a Liverpool. You just don't know. That the hope and the dreams of playing top-level football is alive for anyone who plays football in England. And for that alone, over 700 teams enter this tournament, right? And we see it, of course, on TV from like the third or fourth round on. But before then, there's so many teams. I think Wrexham played 6 games before losing this week to Sheffield United, for example. It encompasses all that's great about sport, and that's just hope and dreaming that maybe this year we can get this big stage and the big game in the big stadium.
FA Cup's a great show.
Yeah, Wrexham, like I know that a lot of fans who weren't necessarily soccer fans, they were tuning into that Wrexham match because it was must-watch TV.
Shout out Billy Sharp. Well done.
Moving
Show
on.
some class, Billy Sharp. Come on, man.
Poor Wrexham fans,
Come on.
Ryan Reynolds.
This is my segment.
All right,
right?
sorry,
This
I'm
is
sorry,
my
I'm sorry.
segment. All right. So I'm going to say, sticking with the Champions League here, a lot of Canadian content in the Champions League, Canadians competing in the Champions League. I'm going to say a Canadian is going to win the Champions League this season. Sharms, what do you think?
So Bayern Munich are going to win it?
Bayern Munich, we got Porto with Stefan Eustáquio, of
Not going to
course.
win it.
Club
And
Brugge.
then Club Brugge
Yeah.
with Tejan Buchanan.
It's amazing, isn't it? We can have this conversation, right?
Yeah.
These Canadians playing in the biggest, not the greatest, but the biggest club tournament in the world. Can Bayern Munich win it this year? Of course they can win it. Why not? Let's see Fonzie once again, not for the first time, we should add.
Yeah.
He's done it before.
First
Lift
Canadian
the
to do
Champions
it.
League. I mean, how great would that be? And they bring in Cancelo in January, a great signing. I think they're strengthened. They lose Manuel Neuer, but Jan Sommer's a really good backup, so to speak, to Manuel Neuer. Yeah, give Fonzie another one of those big old trophies. I love that.
They're down to their final 16 teams. Club Brugge with Tejan Buchanan. They're playing Benfica. And then you have Inter and Porto, which is Stefan Eustáquio, of course. And then PSG Bayern, which is, of course, the heavyweight one. Potentially no Messi in that match. Would
Or
be great
Mbappe,
for Bayern. What do you think, Albert?
I'm gonna go red card. Canadians not lifting a Champions
come
League
on,
this
man.
season. No. I will never discount Real Madrid after what I've seen, especially last season, and the way Napoli's playing right now.
Napoli,
Those two teams are
damn.
incredible. Listen, I know Man City's kind of floundering or whatever you want to call it, but that's a legitimate team. I think those three
They're
teams have a
still
better
favorites.
chance than
They're
any
large
Canadian.
favorites.
Yes.
Man City?
To win this thing. Yeah, plus
Interesting.
180.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like those odds?
No.
You don't.
No, I think there's turmoil behind the
can't
scenes at
touch
City
that.
right now. And
you can't.
they're still
touch
good
that,
enough
right?
to win it, right? But they haven't shown me in even one game this year that they've really got it all together. They're still trying to refine themselves with Haaland up top. So not this year.
All right, let's shift things over to the Premier League. Got to do some Premier League content. And I've been thinking about this. I've been mentioning it. They've been sort of the story of the first half of the season, or one of the really great stories. But Newcastle, I think that Cinderella story is going to be coming to an end. I'm going to say
Why are you laughing?
Newcastle.
I'm tying my shoes on air. I'm sorry. This is not professional. My apologies.
You're just trying to sabotage my
No,
segment because
bro.
you love Birds Brainbusters. This is wild.
Promise.
Okay, so Newcastle is not going to finish in the top 4 this season. Alberto, what do you think?
Oh man, that's so
So
difficult.
let me break this down for you. They're 1 point clear right now, 1 point ahead of your Spurs. They do have a game in hand, but they still have Liverpool, Brighton, Man City, Man United, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea still to play this season.
I'm gonna go yellow card. I'm gonna go yellow card because
Cop
they
out.
they haven't shown me anything that would think that they would slow down. I mean, when you have one of the best, maybe still the best defensive record in the Premier
Yeah,
League,
they do.
That's the point.
that tells me that this is no fluke, that they have a fantastic system. Now, they really haven't had any injuries, especially to that back line. If that happens, then there's going to be a big issue. And the reason why I give it a yellow card is because Spurs are starting to turn around a bit. You can't discount Manchester United even staying in the top four. No, I'm serious. So I'm going to say yellow card. I think they can do it, but I'm not completely convinced.
I'll yellow that one as well. I'll add in the fact that they haven't got Europe to worry about. Spurs do, United do. They can just really focus. I know they're in the Carabao Cup final. They can win a trophy there. That's just one more game. They can really focus on the league, and their defensive record is ridiculous this year. Isaac is getting healthy again now. There's your goals, I think, potentially. And who's chasing them? Spurs, yeah. Inconsistent. Lloris out for 8 weeks. You know, we joke about Lloris, but that is a big loss.
It
Of
is.
course, the next guy in there. Brighton, have they really got the depth to make a run for this? I'm not sure. Brentford, do they really have the depth to make a run for this? I don't think so. So I'm confident that I think it's yellow card worthy that they'll finish top four.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know how this is going to play out, but that's a tough schedule for Newcastle down the stretch.
Still a lot of games left.
A
It is.
lot of
Boy, they
games
are playing
left.
Liverpool.
They are. That's true. That's 3 points in the bag. So next, I'll throw this one to both of you, but I'll start with you, Albert.
Okay.
So Harry Kane, obviously, there's been a price tag floating around with Harry Kane. People are saying about 100, 120 million, depending which currency that you're using. I'm gonna say if Harry Kane were to get sold, let's say it's 120 million. If Mo Salah were to get sold as well, he wouldn't get half as much as Harry Kane would get on the market.
Half as much.
Half.
Yeah, so he would
So
get half
are you
or less.
saying then that Harry Kane is twice the player of Mo Salah? Or are we not
Essentially.
factoring in?
Value-wise,
Right.
right?
mean,
there are other factors that
Mo's
come
been
into it.
quiet, but I think he has 17 goals.
He does.
it's
So
similar
yeah,
in Champions
so
League.
he's
He's been great.
17
That's a
goals.
quiet season. He's gonna be worth a lot of money. So say the statement again. The question.
So Mo Salah, if he were to get sold,
Right.
he'd get sold for half as much as Harry Kane or less, not more than half. So let's say
No,
hypothetically,
red card. I mean, 120 is the number.
hypothetically,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, no, I think right now, this summer, if you were to sell Mohamed Salah, even based on this season, you would still get 80 million.
80 million.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's a
100%.
fantastic player.
He is.
It's that the reason why Liverpool's playing poorly is not because of Mohamed Salah. I think he's done what he can do based on that team and what's going on. 17 goals, a quiet season. He scored 17 goals. Let's not forget, over the past couple of seasons, he's got a bunch of golden boots. He's played a lot of international football as well. I think Mohamed Salah still is one of the premier attackers in European
So
football.
what's the price tag you would say? 80 million?
I would say about 80 million.
80 million?
Yeah,
Sean,
in this
what do you
market,
think?
yeah. And as far as Kane's concerned, he's worth more obviously because he's English. He's got the passport.
Yeah.
He's England captain. We know what
That's
that
the
means.
thing.
There's a tax there, right? So he's worth more money. And yeah, Salah's having a below par campaign. He hasn't been at his top form since AFCON last year, but he's still going to score a lot of goals, right? He's still young enough. He's just in his early 30s now. You put him beside Harry Kane in a front three. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But I don't think Salah's going to United. Pretty sure Kane is, though.
Mohamed Salah, like Harry Kane, I think can get into any team in the world.
Any team, yeah,
Any
for
team,
sure. And
probably.
just a few stats, like Mo Salah, 17 goals, as you said, 7 assists so far in 31 games in all competitions this season, but only 7 goals in the Premier League. Where you look at Harry Kane,
I think it's the beard. It's getting bushy.
It's
too
getting
bushy.
bigger, yeah.
too, so
When
it's
he has
slowing
it-
him
when
down
he
a
shaves
little
it
bit.
down a little bit, he's a lot better.
He needs to get
Okay.
That's
tighter.
my tactical.
Yeah, he needs to get tighter. A little
Yeah.
fangs
Punditry
here on
coming
the-
Oh,
through
what's
there.
that? Look good, play good, feel good.
I love Mohamed Salah, man. Honestly, I still think, like I said, one of the best attackers in the world.
Yeah, no, definitely,
All right, one more. Is that okay? One more?
almost.
You want
almost.
2 more?
2 more, yeah.
All right, 2 more.
Okay, Chris Armas.
Oh,
Come on, Chris Armas. Picking up points at Manchester United, a valuable point for Leeds. I'm going to say that Chris Armas will become the manager of Leeds for the rest of the season. Sharms, what do you think?
Oh, that's a red card. That's not
No
happening.
chance.
There's no chance. And nothing against Chris Armas. He has a propensity to fall upwards, though, doesn't he? It's very well for himself. I don't blame him. You know, I'm not. People make fun of Chris Armas. He
Yeah.
obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But there's no chance that Leeds, having gone the American route and failed, will do it again. There's absolutely no chance whatsoever. He might stick around as an assistant on the bench, or he might, get the France job next week if this tendency continues.
It's unbelievable, actually. I'm going to go red card as well. Listen, Leeds are actively looking for a manager. I mean, if Carlos Corberán was available, he'd be the manager at Leeds right now, but he's not, and West Brom re-upped him. So
Roller, maybe. I know they've...
Yeah, and even Vallecano shut that down too. But they're actively looking. I mean, if they did pick Armas, it's because literally everybody else said no.
But the thing is, like, what if Chris Armas and Leeds were to go host Manchester United this weekend and pick up all 3 points? Does it shift your...
But it's more than just him in charge right now, right?
It is.
He's
It's
not like the
three-man
interim manager.
quartet.
It's an interim setup.
Yeah.
So I still don't think.
Okay, what if I
change
change it to that intern setup? Will become the manager for the rest
Will he
of
be
the
part of the
season.
setup moving forward? Possibly.
Yeah.
I'll have a yellow card for that. Not as possible.
I want to see it, man.
I think there's more of a chance of Sam Allardyce having that job than Chris Armas and the rest of his team.
We'll see. Might have to come back to that one. Last one. This one's for Sharms. Goal machine. He's going to win League Series 2.
What are you talking about?
Goal machine.
Who?
Goal machine.
Goal machine.
Is going to win League Series 2.
Okay, explain to me. Just explain it.
What do you think it is?
I've heard this before, goal machine. Didn't some guy rename his, make it, what was it?
What are we talking about?
Didn't some player legally change his name to goal machine or something? Didn't he? No? What is this? Albert has no idea either, right?
Come on, do you know?
Is it a video game thing?
Yeah, it's EMLS.
You're such a nerd.
Shell out goal machine. Toronto
This
FC.
guy.
Hey, guys, he qualified first in League Series 1. He's going to the final.
I thought you were going to say like goal machine
Well
Erling
done.
Haaland. That's what I thought.
I don't understand this. I don't watch it. I'm not saying I shouldn't, and maybe I will, and maybe I'll enjoy it. But at this point, I'm a 48-year-old curmudgeon who's bitter about most things in life. Am I really going to watch some kid play a video game?
You're discrediting it. The disrespect is
No,
unbelievable.
I'm saying maybe I should. Maybe I can change. Maybe I can evolve.
You should, because
But-
Goal Machine right now is on fire.
What's his real name?
Naveed.
Naveed.
Yeah.
And right now he's where? He's in what division?
He's EMLS.
I'm giving a red
Right,
card to
MLS.
this conversation, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
He's the Toronto FC Pro FIFA player.
Okay.
So he competes in the EMLS, like MLS.
Yeah.
And he plays 3 competitions every year. This is the second of the third competition.
So he's good.
And out of everybody in EMLS, which is about, I think, 23 to 25 players, he qualified first.
I thought you were going to say like 23,000 or something.
No.
23.
Each team has a player.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So he qualified first. He went undefeated yesterday.
Good for him.
And he finished top of the
Did you
league
try
series
out to become MLS guy?
I would know, man. These guys are ridiculous.
Is
If
he
you
a
watch
goal
these guys
machine,
play,
or
it's
is he like
crazy.
a very
No.
pragmatic defensive?
No, he's
No, that'd be
the
you
name
for
does
sure.
justify.
Probably.
The name does justify. He actually is a goal machine.
Okay.
So
Hey,
shout out
I'm
goal
not ruling
machine.
it out. I just
James
I'll
would
put some
James
time
would
into
pick
this.
Man City, go 4-4-2.
Yep, with the ball.
With the
All
ball.
right, so that was ridiculous. But goal machine, we're proud of you, kiddo. We're
Shout
proud of
out.
you.